Daniel Norton.
Thank you. Thank you. You'll get your payment on the way out for that. So, welcome. Am I? I'm on. Okay. So that always turns me off before I say. Welcome to OnSet. I'm Daniel. I get better at this as I go. I'm Daniel Norton. And we are here with Erica.
Hi.
Seth on the Mighty Mix. Nope, I'm moving something. And yeah, we're going to talk about portraits. So this is what do you really need? And the answer is friendship. Thanks for coming.
It took an entire year, but we got one good joke out of him.
I've been building up to this the whole time. No, so today we're going to talk about kind of if we're drilling it down, kind of the most basic thing. Now, we're talking about lighting portraits here. Really, to be a great portrait photographer, you need to be good with people, right? You need to understand people. You have to make people feel comfortable. You've got to, empathize with them. None of that can I teach you standing here on YouTube. That's something you got to learn by being out there in the world, thinking about people first, that kind of stuff. But I can show you the lighting, and then we'll go from there. I mean, I can pretend like I've never met this woman before. You should feel comfortable because I'll do this with my hands. That's not what you do, right? Talk to people, enjoy life, make it fun. You feel I'm using my thumbs or whatever it is. Anyways.
Look at this spinning wheel.
Yes. The flashing lights. So what we're going to do is we're going to go real simple here. And the one thing that I think is the most important thing when you're lighting people to understand is shadows. Where we place them, how dense they can be, and what that means to your shot. So today we're really going to talk about that. We're going to work with one light source. We're going to create some different images with a couple different modifiers to kind of show you some differences. We'll talk about where to place the shadows, what that might mean, and how to compensate them. I think that when we're first starting, we often will be afraid of shadows. And, because everybody say, oh, big soft light, no shadow. But shadow is where you get shape, shadow is where you get form, texture, three-dimensionality, or the feel of it is where it comes from the shadows. So we're going to use shadows. How many times did I say that? All right, good. Okay, so I don't forget, I'm using a Nikon. It is a Z6 III with a 24 to 120 lens. People always ask that, so there you go. And we're going to use Profoto lights. These are B30s. They're one more than the B29s and one less than the B31s. These are 500 watt second lights. They are battery powered. None of that really matters. What matters is that we want to place the light, in a way that's going to look great for our situation. These are battery powered. If I was in a studio all the time, I wouldn't necessarily go that way. So I get that question a lot. Do you need battery powered lights? Only if you're a baller, They're convenient here so we don't trip over them, but you can get lights that aren't battery powered. They're a little bit less expensive or more powerful. These are just the ones that I use. This is equipped with what they call a soft light reflector or a beauty dish, right? So a beauty dish is, and I want to show this. This is a really, really common question and thought. Like, did you see a lot of these portable kind of pop-up beauty dishes? And somebody will always say, well, what's the difference, right? So the main thing is that when you're using a solid beauty dish like this, it's much smaller. So what you get is a really contained light that's a little bit more directional. It's a little less, a little more focused, okay? Are the ones that pop open good? Sure, they're basically kind of like little octagon boxes. They're not exactly the same, but they don't need to be, right? I'm just using this because what I have, it's white on the inside. It is equipped with a grid. All right, there we go. I said all the gear, so now I never have to talk about gear again. It's on a C-stand. Somebody's gonna ask me. All right, so here we go. So, oh, something hit the projector. Oh, probably might, sorry. The world is out of focus. Okay. It's not your eyes. It's like the Twilight Zone.
It's my fault, guys. Sorry.
Okay, so before we get into this and we start kind of creating some images, we're going to talk about some of the basics. So I'm using flash. There was a question earlier, trying to sneak in a question before the thing about constant lights, which is good, right? I actually did a whole demo on like why are we using flash or is constant light good or something like that a little while ago. Whatever the clickbaity title was I made up. But the big advantage of flash is that we can control our environment. Like here I am at Adorama, as most people shoot when they're here. And I'm under these beautiful lights. I think these are NAND lights, right? They're these big like LED. I mean, anybody who's here can see this. It's like a stage. I feel really good. Yeah, you can see, oh, Seth's showing them. You know, you're probably not lighting under that, but you might be in some office, or you might be outside even. You might be somewhere where there's light, right? And if you can't just turn all the light off, having flash is very advantageous because we can effectively turn the light off by overpowering it with the flash. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. I'm gonna put my camera over here. Oh, I'm using the 3-pod tripod too. Look at this. I started putting brands all over me. All right. Every inch of my body is for sale.
Daniel is sponsored by Wonder Bread.
I do love Wonder Bread. That is true.
No nutrition. Just
I like that. I also like the Petridge Farm, the really thin bread. Oh, so good. I think it's supposed to be for diets. I just like because it's really thin. Yeah. All right. All right. So what we're going to do is eliminate the light in the space with our camera, right? Our camera is going to be able to eliminate the light in the space by setting our exposure so that, you know, we get a black frame. The way we do that is we set our shutter speed at the fastest shutter speed within the normal sync range. So for this camera, I think it's 250 technically, but I always put it at 200 because I don't know, I do. ISO lowest within the normal range. Okay, and then we just set our aperture wherever we need to set it at to get it to be dark in here. Now, if you're wondering, well, what if I want to shoot at, you know, f2 because I just spent a bunch of money on a lens? Well, too bad. No, you have to wonder, like there's a reason to shoot at f2, but most of those reasons aren't the reason that you think, right? Like I'm here against a plain background. Does it really matter what I'm shooting at? So I'm not going to worry about that. If I was concerned and I wanted to shoot more like wide open, for instance, that's when we get into high speed sync, which we'll talk about next year. All right. This is my favorite time of year, so I can keep saying I'm going to talk about things next year. All right, so I've been here before, as you might have guessed. So I know that it's somewhere around f8. The other way to know is just kind of look at the back of the camera. This is a mirrorless camera, as many of them are today. And I can see that it's black, right? I can adjust my aperture up and down. You can't see it clearly, but I can do this so you can. I'm in capture 1. Okay, and there's Erica, looking all Erica-y. And what you see is a false exposure, right? When you're using a mirrorless camera, right, you can set the camera to kind of compensate, right, for the space, the light in the space, so that you can see better, right? It's giving you a false exposure so you can see the frame, okay? When I go like this, that's the real exposure. I'm turning off that function. So when I take a picture, you know, no, it's fine. There's Erica. I call this midnight in a cave.
You're at f8 and 200.
I'm at f8, 1/200th of a second, and 100 ISO. You're welcome.
You'll always see the settings on the bottom of the frame.
Yeah. So then what we'll do here is we'll just drag the exposure slider over. I want to be a couple to 3 stops underexposed, ideally. I mean, I'm definitely underexposed here. We're like 3 stops. You go until you start seeing skin tone. That's generally where I go for it. So if we look, we can see skin tone there. We're like 3.11 stops underexposed. That's our base for our shadows, right? Our shadows are going to be 3 stops under because beyond that is the light in the space, okay? So everything from this point on that I photograph once the flash is turned on, that's on me, right? So I've eliminated this beautiful light that took a long time to build. Blood, sweat, and tears. Painting the scaffolding black. Okay.
Where were you?
I was watching at home on Instagram. All right, come forward, Eric. All right. So one thing I'm going to do here, because I'm using one light, is I'm going to move her a little bit away from the wall. And I think you know why. So don't put a shadow on the wall, right? Because wherever there's light, right, there's going to be shadow on the other side. So if I don't want a shadow on the wall, or I don't want it to be as pronounced, just moving her away from the wall will help with that. So we did that. There'll probably still be a little bit, but that's okay. The other thing we want to do is, and this is we're just getting a base exposure here, and then we're going to build from it. I'm going to frame her up, and I'm going to start with kind of the most common light placement. If you look in that book that I feel like every person must have read, because they always say this, from 1973, that tells you where to put the light, they're going to tell you to put it right here, 45 degrees from the front, right? This is a classic 45. It's probably called something. You could name it yourself. Make up something. Why not? We're all influencers here. Right? Call it what you want. So this is a 45 degree. It's going to create a little bit of shadow across the face. The reason why this is a nice, I'm hiding behind my camera. The reason why this is nice is because you get some texture. We're going to get a shadow from the nose. We're going to get some shadow on one side of her face. It's going to build a little bit of depth. That's why we like to light this way. So we frame Erica up. We put the light in at around 45 degrees. Now, how close or far away you put the light will determine a couple of things. The closer the light is, the faster it will fall off to shadow. Okay? The further away it is, the slower it will, right? Or that is to say, it will spread out more. Okay? Shadow does not equal hard. Hard light, because you hear hard light all the time being bad, which isn't true. Hard light is the edge transition, right? The closer your light is, the softer the light is. So basically, when you move your light in closer, it's larger, which gives you a softer light, but you also have faster fall off to shadow. Okay? I'm going to demonstrate now. Why this is relevant, you'll see in a second. So we're going to move the light in approximately the distance of the put the model line on? Yeah. Thanks. Here you go. All right, so we can see her now, and we can see where the light is. It's coming this way across her face. We're at about roughly 45. We can see where the shadow is going to fall, and let's take a peek. So again, this is with the flash. So what we've got here is light across her face, like I said, right? Shadow on one side, building texture and depth. This is over here. This is what they call loop lighting. I'm naming stuff today. It's a daguerreotype, yes. Who just said that? 5 points for that, all right. Now, this is fine and is nice, right? Light like this is a bit dramatic, right? It's kind of like if you were going to light a statue, right? Or something like that, you'd light it this way, right? It's statuesque, right? We're basically shaping the face. If we're using this as a portrait that's not for like a crime drama, we might want to fill in that shadow a little bit. We don't want to eliminate it, we want to fill it in a little bit. So with that, we use what is called a fill card. I know, who makes these names up? Now, all we're going to do is bounce the light back in. This is a piece of cardboard, or a foam core board as it would be. White side, right? And that's going to bring, we'll do it correctly this time. We're not going to get a lot from it because, yeah, because the grid. I get my arm's not long enough is the reason why. There we go. Okay. There it is. Okay, so we can see with the fill card. Hold it back up here. Explain the grid. Yeah, I'm going to explain the grid. Yeah, thank you. So a couple things going on here. Let's do this first. Lots of buttons. Okay, so two things to talk about here. One, if you look, the shadow pattern is the same. It hasn't changed. We filled the shadow in with light, right? This makes the shadow less intense, less dense. It gives us a little bit more detail on that side of the face if we want it. Softens up the feel, right? But as Seth was going to mention, asked me to mention, we have a grid on the front of this. The grid narrows the throw of light. That's why when I first put it up and my arm wasn't long enough, I wasn't actually in the light. I had to come more forward to be in the light. Okay? The reflector only works when it reflects exactly in front of the light.
No, the grid does not focus.
Right,
Focus
does not
and
focus.
narrowing beam angle are two different things.
Yes. Focusing the light increases intensity. The grid doesn't focus the light. It now a spot would focus the light. A little bit of a different effect. And it does matter. The reason why it matters, I mean, I'm joking about terms, but the reason why some of these terms are important is because eventually you may be working with somebody who's, maybe they're working for you and you're asking them to set something up for you, or maybe they've hired you to do something. And you want to make sure you're using terminology that's consistent, right? So when you focus a light, it brings all the intensity into the middle. When you narrow the spread, it basically, the grid is like eating the light, so it kind of fades in. And you can actually see how it, well, so I'll show it here.
It also changes the exposure focus.
Right, and it'll change the exposure, right? Because you're getting more light when you focus.
You got a bunch of people in the chat saying, hey, they met you at Dallas Imaging USA.
Oh, hey.
So
Dallas was really nice. There was a great place in Grapevine that made pie. It was called something pie. Very good.
that was thrilling. Thank you. That was a,
If you're ever in Grapevine, go to the pie place. It's literally in the name of it. It's like Erica's Pies or something like that. It's not that. I can't say the actual name of it without getting some money. No, I can't remember the name of it.
What is up with you today?
I haven't slept much. Okay. So here we are creating a little bit of shadow and drama. So we can take this, right? And we can create a little bit more of a beauty look by changing where the shadow falls, okay? The shadow right now is at the kind of, like I say, the kind of classic 45. But if we bring it into what they call butterfly lighting, or I think sometimes they call it paramount lighting. I saw somebody say that the other day and I was like, paramount? How fancy. Yeah, so basically, I like butterfly because, you know, butterflies are nice and they start off as caterpillars and all that, you know. If we move our shadow into the middle, so I'm gonna put a sandbag on this, you know, because it's a hard light. We don't want to drop hard light on somebody. Soft light, drop it on, no problem. Hard light, you don't want that.
You strapped it on me. It's
Yeah, I have
live to
actually.
tell the tale.
Yes. Listen, after a while, you're going to end up dropping a light on somebody. It's fine.
The important thing is to run.
Right. All right. So now the light is more kind of central on her face. So if I sent you in the light, boom, there we go. Yeah, there we go. And we take a shot. We can see how it changes the vibe. Right now we're seeing more of her entire face, if I can actually talk today. So here we've got a bit of that kind of drama. Now we're glamorous, right? And how we control the glamour, and again, let me do the same thing with the reflector, right? The fill light. We can take the fill and we want to put it where the light is, right? Again, with the grid, it's a little trickier, but we should still be able to do it. And there you go, right? Nice and filled in, kind of a beauty shot, right? Clean, we're seeing the whole face. This is a little bit more approachable as well, you know, because it kind of shows the whole face, right? If you have lots of shadow coming across one side of the face, and let's say somebody's laughing or smiling, it could look a little more sinister, right? If the whole face is lit up, then it tends to look more, it brings you in, right? Now, this light though, being punchy and hard, is great. And this is what I would use for a beauty type thing, right? And then I might add another light for the background and do all those other kind of things. Since we're only using one light because I'm too lazy to set up another one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch our light source now. And we're gonna switch to a bigger light without the grid that's gonna give us more spread and it's gonna be softer.
There's a question in the chat if dropping the light on the model is the preferred way to dent a beauty dish.
That's right.
We haven't dented this one.
Yes, this one we haven't dented yet.
This is not the legacy one you guys remember.
Yeah.
That's
That one
an
has the
estate
brown
place.
tape.
It has a weird brown tape. We have no idea where it got there.
Yeah. Yes. Nobody knows where the brown gaff came from. All right, so we're switching out from the beauty dish to an octagon softbox. This is a 3-footer. So we're increasing our surface area, right? So our light is just generally becoming softer. Bigger the light is, the softer it is. Additionally, it's diffused, right? Diffusion has to do with your highlights. A more diffused light will have spread out highlights, so you have less chance of a glare, right? I mean, Erica has impeccable skin, so there was no glare, but if you had put me in that first light, you know, you would have had a big old shine on my forehead. All right. Should we leave it in the same position? Let's just leave it in the same position because I'm lazy. Maybe step up for 1 second. I don't
You guys all right? Any questions? He's kind of flying and
questions,
making a
thoughts.
lot of
Am I
bad
going
jokes.
fast? I drank a lot of coffee today. Yeah. All right, let's just take a minute. Any questions? Yes.
Do you have to increase the power as well? Because like it's now it's like you said it's gotta be softer light.
Okay, so when we're switching to the softbox, do we need to increase the power? That is a great question. So I'm using what's called TTL or through the lens metering. So that will happen automatically. But yes, you'll generally need to put more power into the light if you have a larger modifier. But we can actually check this. I can see the power on my light right now is 6.5. Let's take a shot and see.
Well, the other thing is he's going to physically move it farther away than that beauty dish because the dot box is physically bigger as well. So you lose light that way as well.
Yeah.
Not to spoil the cliffhanger that we're about to create here, but you know,
Did you not closing the top make a difference?
that's a
Yeah.
baller way to do it. That's just,
I never ever close the top. It does make a difference.
just that one flap.
It's my style. In here, yeah. So
It,
So no,
it-
no,
it's
and
like
I'm-
keeping
and I-
the sticker
and I-
on your hat. You know, it's the same thing. It's the same.
no, it's a good. That's another good question. So the question is about the flap, right? I'm going to assume you weren't just like making fun of me there, because you know, Seth will rough you up.
We're being serious over here. Come
Well, no, I'm messing with you. So a lot of times with older soft boxes, I would actually leave the back open in a small room because it does actually bleed some light out the back, which then kind of bounces around the room and gives you a little bit of ambience. In this case, with such tall ceilings, it wouldn't make a difference. So I wasn't doing it on purpose. I had forgotten, but I do actually do that. So I did do it by mistake, but it does actually do something. Yeah. Also, you may notice that we're leaving more of the top of Erica's head in.
on. I was gonna say
I know. You know, we got to build up to the.
what you want at the end of the year. I guess.
Yeah.
You hate the sarcasm of it.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So, oh, look at that. So, what do we have there? Yeah, it's unsatisfying with all the head. So, we are at 5.7. So, what does that mean? Power went down, right? So, generally, it would have gone up. But in this case, it went down because the grid eats light, the distance, all that matters, right? So, it went down a tiny bit, like half a stop. The plate blocks it. I mean, there's lots of things. So, but as a general rule, if I went from like a smaller softbox to a bigger one, it would definitely take more power. But in this case, it didn't. There you go. Yeah, I feel like I'm too tall today for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Not her. I'm too tall. Yeah.
Flat shoe? Never.
Yeah.
End of the world if that happens.
Yeah, exactly.
You must make wrong. I'm in a flat shoe.
She's going to go back through all the old videos to see if you ever were. All right, there we go. Better conversation.
Yeah, wait. Not even level. Not
Well, it's, you know, ball head. It's level. No, nobody tries anymore. So work your chin up just a smidge. There we go. All right, so here we have the bigger, softer light coming from the center, right? You notice I don't have the fill card, right? Because this light is softer, which means the transition to the shadow is more delicate, which means we can see into it, right? So also you may notice, trying to find the first shot. Let's see here. The background is more evenly lit, right? Because simply the light just going around her more, right? It's more light, you know, and she's standing at the edge of it. So if you look, I don't know how easy it is to see online, but you guys can certainly see it here. A lot of this light is in front of Erica. And when we're using a large light source, we should use that to our advantage, right? If I put her in the center of it, what would likely happen is the top of her head would be hot, right? And then it would drop off really quick and we might get more light in the background. So I'd have to even this out a little differently, right? But in order, if you're gonna do this kind of overhead shot, you know, where it's kind of frontal like this, you wanna kind of put it in front of her. So the light's kind of coming down, and that's called feathering of the light, right? So we're feathering the light in to fill in our shadow and give us a nice rounded look. That makes sense so far? Questions?
Yeah, someone's asking what the white balance you have set is.
All right, so the white balance is 4,999.
I wish she was being sarcastic.
It is, right? Yeah. So I say this, and some people think I'm joking, but I'm absolutely dead serious. When I started using these Nikon Z cameras, Seth said, set your white balance at 5,000. I think it looks better. And I did, and I thought it looked better. So that's why I shoot it at that. If you shoot it at daylight, it looks a little bit warmer. You know, I like this kind of more almost coolie look.
Yeah, and we should preface that this is also through Profoto diffusion, right?
Sure,
So the
yeah.
light is colored by whatever it's going through. We've found that with Profoto diffusion in Nikon cameras with this glass,
Right.
that 5,000 is really accurate for us.
Yeah.
You might find some modifiers are bluer, and the reason they're bluer is because they think you're going to set your white balance warmer, so it balances, right? So we've
Right.
just found this, you know. You can always gray card it. You can always custom white balance. You can also just do it in daylight and go, this looks great, you know?
Exactly. So the other thing we can do here with this light is, as we're dealing with the shadow, I kind of put it where I normally would put it. Light close-ish to the model, filling in. But as we raise our light up and down, I can't really bring it down without getting in the shot, but it will change the shape of our shadow as well. So we can play around with that a little bit. So if you're looking straight forward and I move the light up more, right? What's going to happen is it's going to be a little harder because it's further away, right? It's also higher on her, so it will actually change the shape of the shadow. Put your chin up.
So someone's asking, isn't there enough light bouncing off of her white shirt, well, beige shirt, to fill in the shadows?
Okay, so
It's a little tannish.
yeah, so that's an interesting question. So, first of all, it's cloud. No, what is it? Cloud walker. It's white. Yeah. So in order for the clothing or something to matter, it has to be at the right angle, right? So if potentially the light hitting, if I'm Erica, right? And the light is here, coming here, and it hits my shirt, right? Where's it going? Right? Because this is how light comes in, right? In order for the light to bounce off our shirt and fill a shadow, it would need to be coming from here. So you have to think about that. It is possible with a flatter light, but generally speaking, somebody's shirt is probably not going to make that much of a difference in that case. However, though, you see how quickly the shadow is stripping here, and we can see that it makes her eyes. So now we're actually getting a little bit more into that devious look, right? But here's where we might want to add a bit of fill, because I might love the way that, like, let's say this quick change of light makes her lips look, right? With this really nice shape there, but maybe there's too much shadow in her eyes. So we could either work her face up a little bit, we could fill in, there's lots of different ways we could do it. But again, it's all about this shadow. Like, where do we want it to be? Do we want this kind of LinkedIn profile vibe, right? Or do we want this kind of, femme fatale LinkedIn profile vibe, right?
Like a Netflix documentary of someone who's doing something
Nefarious deeds happening at Adorama. All right, so let's get a little fill card action in here, and let's see how we can change this up. Now I have lots more to work with here, right? Because I have all this extra light. Plus it's far away, so we can kind of give whatever kind of, something like that maybe. Nobody looks through the camera anymore these days. Yeah, it didn't come in. Okay, I was hoping I'd get, all right, let me do the silver. I like this angle. It just wasn't enough light, so I'm going to try the silver. Okay. A little bit more.
You're keeping the pattern of breaking it down.
Yeah. See, we can see a little touch more. Yeah. Or we can go closer. Yeah, we can go closer if we want to kind of get it in under our chin, as noted by the astute audience, right? We can break it up in any way you like. Though I went back to the white there, by the way, so it's more subtle. So now, slight chin up, a little more like the eyes, filled in. It's a little flatter, right? A little bit more, sinister, as noted. But remember too that he starts making a face.
To get more of it, you got to put that light back.
Yeah, definitely. So as we're here, we're working with this. What do we want though, right? Sometimes when we're working, we'll be like, oh, I have the subject in front of me and I set this light up and it looks interesting. And now I'm just going to start moving the light around because it looks cool. But always remember what our intent was, right? We didn't really have an intent because we're doing a demo. But if you had an intent and it was for a profile or whatever, don't go crazy and start going Netflix documentary when you're trying to do LinkedIn, right? Make sure that you remember what you're trying to do. So let's say we're trying to keep it a little more chill. One thing we can do is move this light more forward to give us more to work with, right? We can also change the angle of it. Yeah, exactly. Let's just do that. No, actually, I'll move back because I want to actually move the light. Yeah, because I don't want, that was good though. What Erica did there was exactly the same thing. She moved away from the light, which is the same thing as me moving the light away from her. Yeah, she's been here before. All right, so we've got this. Moving it more forward is going to allow us to have more to bounce with, which I'll show you because again, I want to walk through this, but actually I think the solution here is going to be to tilt the light. But first we'll start here. Yeah, sure. The other thing we could do is you could do clamshell, you could do seashell, you could do eggshell. No, you could add another light, but we don't want to do that because we're just working with one light because that's all set up for me. Fair enough, that's what I asked for. And then there we go. We got a nice filled in light by moving it further away, right? Now, again, because the light source itself is so big, 3 feet, right? And we're making kind of a portrait of Erica, it's still remaining soft. This light could become more of a hard light the further back we bring it, but we're still in the range. We're only about maybe 3.5 feet away from her. So we're still in that soft light range. Being further away is making the shadows take longer to kind of form up, giving us more neutral, giving us more space to bounce.
If you did have another light, what would you do?
Oh, if I had another light, I would do so many things. Oh, you mean in this particular case? Probably a separation light. Do I want? No, I'm joking. No, I would probably add a separation light or something, from the back before I would add a fill light. I don't generally use fill lights unless I really need to, or if I'm setting something up with lots of lights, because a reflector generally works fine for this kind of setup. I'm just giving him a hard time because he did ask me and I said just one light. I find that when you're talking about shadow patterns specifically and kind of showing examples, it's better to keep it as simple as possible because we start adding multiple lights and you're going to see all kinds of different shadows. So, but let's take this a little bit further. Right now, we've mostly been lighting kind of from above-ish with a flat light, but let's kind of make it a little more directional because I think that is probably, can you step back from me, keep it lower this. That's more likely what people are going to do. People. They like to. Yeah. All right. Does it come forward a little bit? Boy, that's really crooked. Seth didn't even call me on it. There we go. Profoto will not give me the requisite $7 for using this if I don't make sure the logo is straight. So let me fix that. Big time influencer. All right, good. All right, so lots of light above her head, right? Coming across, giving us a brighter background because we're hitting it more directionally, right? We're bringing in those kind of upward shadows that gives her that nice look under her nose and a little bit under the lips and a little bit of dark here. So that's pretty nice, right? Because we're pointing the light right at her. But I've got it kind of up, you see? Because the light, you want the light to feel like it's coming from above. That feels more natural, right? If you put the light, I could lower it a little bit, but if you put the light directly in front of her, let's say a ring light, it starts to look very unnatural and very flat, right? And that's something that anybody at home can do. They can get a ring light, they can use their phone, and they get that shot. If you're making a portrait of somebody, you want to add some depth and shadow. That's what you can do with your lights. Okay. I'm gonna go down a little bit with this.
So someone in the chat's asking, how would you set this up if you didn't have an arm? Just a straight stand.
Okay, so if I didn't have an arm, I would go to Adorama.com. I would buy an arm. No, I'll set it up without an arm. Okay, I just lowered it a bit, just to get a little bit more a little bit more flat, rather. See the difference there? It's subtle, but it's there. So we got up higher, flatter, right? If you didn't have an arm, so for some of the stuff like the beauty dish, it would have been a little trickier to get it dead center. With a big light like this, you could easily do it without the arm. I'm not gonna take the arm off, I'm just gonna stand the flash up. I think. Testing my coordination.
To which he has none, so good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Been like 15 years of no coordination with Daniel, trust me.
Okay. Like this, we don't need the sandbag. Ugh, sandbag, please, won't come. Life will be good. Right. So, we could put it real close to the camera. We want technique. All right. But that's not going to be, what's going to be the difference here? It's going to be harder. It's going to be flatter, right? This is going to look a little different. So let's just see what this looks like. And this, right? That's punchier, right? That's almost closer to kind of almost not really like an on-camera flash, but like that directional kind of light, right?
It's literally almost on camera.
Because it's almost literally right. It was in front of her before, but it was closer to her, so it kind of ripped past her. So we can't do that. But what we can do is this, you know, you just kind of bring your light in.
Like, oh, is that in the frame?
Yeah. You know, put a little bit like that, and that'll probably work. There we go. Is it going to be exactly the same? No. Is it going to be functional? Yeah, I'm sure it is. Oh.
Background sure got bright.
Aha, that doesn't seem correct. The light's pointing up a little bit. That did not come out the way. We'll just delete that part. Don't worry about it. Nobody's watching. Yeah. We'll just...
207 people watching. Don't worry about it. Although the likes are going down.
Right. Hey, look, a dislike is also interaction. All right. There we go. I got the light in the shot. I'm gonna try to get this as close as possible. But you know, this is a challenge here. We were on one of those like reality shows, doing the challenge. Daniel, you only have 1 hour to get a shot. All right. So basically, if you are putting it, you don't have a thing you put in the middle. You see the difference here, right? The light is partially to one side. That's what's going to happen, right? You can't. You've got two options. You can get closer to the camera, which puts it a little bit more in the center, but the closer you get to her, the more pronounced the light being to the side will be, right? So that's kind of your options. You can move it closer to the camera, or you can have the shadow be to the side. That's pretty much it. And you know, that's also fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We can also work it. Like I can have her go like this with her face. Yeah, exactly. And then let me raise the camera a little bit. There we go. Right there. Okay, get those eyebrows in. Boom. And there we go, right? Weirdly, the subject can also move. I know, it's weird, but they can move, yeah. It's all right, we just directed her towards the light. So again, now the light is centered on her face, which actually leads to a really important thing, right? This is the same thing as putting the light over the camera and having to look at the camera. It's the same lighting pattern. It's just that she's looking off to the side. So that might be your solution. Like that looks pretty nice. All right, yep, Seth wants a bounce.
You're going to do it anyway. So.
You got to do it eventually. Yeah, this is all part of the YouTuber creed. Set up the light, put the bounce, have the one flap down.
Well, the bounce card's like a safety blanket for the model. They feel better.
If they're shy, they can. Oh, that's nice. Subtle.
It's not kicking.
No, not much, but that did do something nicer.
It's going too forward, that's why.
Yeah. Yeah. That's in there.
It's not.
It's not flattening it. Like that's with that right there. That's without. That's with. Yeah, you can see it here. I'm a subtle kind of guy.
No, you're not.
We could use a bigger bounce card. We could use a silver one, which probably won't look very good, but we'll do it anyways.
Yeah, look at that.
It's a little more drama
You have to
for your mama.
light this way.
Yeah. I think I like the subtlety of the white. Go on to our poll online and tell us which one you like. Oh, did my Instagram finally?
Just been going. I was going to tell you.
So if you're watching on the Instagram now tells you to watch live. Apparently Instagram takes a long time to upload. All right.
So you got
Questions, thoughts, concerns.
a grip question.
Okay. Yep. Grip question. Sure.
So someone's asking if you could speak to when a C-stand arm is okay or when you need like a heavier boom arm. For example, a pack head and an acute D4 head and a soft box is okay on an arm. I'm guessing that's their exact lighting setup that they're wondering.
Yeah.
Sandbag in the arm for the counterweight. Basically, is your arm bowing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, so first of all, I'll take it from the film snob angle. C-stands aren't really made for lights. I mean, that's the thing, right? You see, when we do this, we add this little guy, right, into the knuckle, right? Because they're not really made to put, the arms aren't really made for lights per se. You can put a light on them, they're not made for lights. So if you're putting something really heavy, I would use a proper boom. But for most photo-y style lights, if you're not all the way out on it, they're fine. So that's my thought there. I wouldn't put like a 7-foot octagon with a big head in it and then stretch it all the ways out. But I think if you're just stretching it out a little bit, you're pretty good with most photo heads.
Yeah, and
But as Seth said, if it's not bending, you're probably fine. I mean, they're made out of steel, so.
But it's also be smart. Don't overextend the arm if you don't have to it's so long out there that you're going against the physics of it, okay? And if you're using a
Right.
pack and head, the point of the head is to not have all that power weight on top. So you
That is
have
correct.
you know, so
Yeah, because when you think about the what we're in arms for, maybe we should do, I don't know, if this is an interesting subject, let me know. Maybe we'll do one on this. This is really for like flags and grip and stuff. So that's why you want that reach. So you can get a flag out in the right position. You want more arm to it, but you never want to extend your arm out further than it needs to go no matter what you're doing, because that'll throw off your balance, which is why we put a sandbag on it before.
and you're always booming out over a tall leg so it's stable. If you put it between the
Yeah.
leg, you're just asking for somebody to get hurt.
Exactly. Watch Seth's video on his channel, Seth Miranda. He has an amazing C-stand video. Check it out.
Well, I can't make fun of you. This is-
I mean, he doesn't have any other videos that are good, but that one is. All right.
A lot of videos I have to take down, so don't worry about it.
All right. Come forward a tiny bit. We're going to add a little bit of contrast, because remember we started off with the hard light kind of at a 45? Let's kind of come in with the modified 45. I just made that up. You like that? Modified 45?
Rolled off the tongue.
Yeah, modified 45. That was in my 7th album. Good. All right, so, again, we've got this fast fall off, right? Light really close, shadows building up, but relatively soft light because we can see how it transforms from what is effectively the highlight through the neutral to the shadow here. And it happens pretty slowly. We don't just have like a line, right? And again, it builds nice shape to the face. With this kind of light, this is like when she's, Erica is a senator or something. This is like senator lighting, We can fill it in, and then she's got nice, clean light, right? There's direction. And what's nice about this is it's subtle, right? The shape is there to the face. I'm not lighting her flat with a ring light or something. She has shadow, but the shadow is like very, very diffused and filled in because we have this beautiful Brooklyn reflector that Seth sells these after the show on the street.
Along with Daniel Norton t-shirts.
Yes. On the street. And there it's a little bit less filled in. Like, if you want
Streets of flat iron.
Right, exactly.
Right next to the 3-card money guy.
Yeah. Yes, come down Adorama. So here we have like that same light, but just kind of partially filled in, right?
Use a pizza box. It's the last.
Yeah, let's use a pizza box.
Probably bent to hell.
All right, we're going for the pizza box.
I mean, you got this mirror finish.
We got the mirror finish. So
This is the real Brooklyn reflector, guys.
this is the real, how there's like the real Ray's pizza? This is the real Brooklyn reflector.
There's only like 40 rays.
The real Ray's.
Do the long range, right?
Might have like gone like that.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna do a silver finish first because this is gonna be like wacky.
Yeah, that is a mirror finish.
Okay. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's got that little punch, right? I'd love to get. Yeah, can I get it in there? Let me see if I can get it in both dress. So to get that little. I think I can because of the angle. That's okay. All right. Boom. Yeah, it's like you got a little mirror action. So here we are using a mirrored reflector, right? So not only are we getting more light in a sense, we're getting a more directional light, as I shine you guys in the audience. I told you, Gallagher, except with light. But you see, it doesn't fill in as much as the white one up close, right? Because the white one is bouncing and kind of gently filling in. This one is just kind of popping, right? So we have a white side to this, right? There it is. At least Seth gave me one without pizza in it this time. and then we have a softer fill, right? There we go. One Profoto light, one pizza box. That's going to show me how to properly use it now. Oh no. Oh, the double pizza bend. Oh yeah, look at that. No, it didn't do anything. I was just trying to hear you. Can we get a silver kick on the back of her head and do like a, is there enough? Bring your face this way. Probably like a, oh yeah. I think that was good. Oh yeah, see that?
Whoa.
Boom, that's a mirror, right? So normally when you're using some kind of fill reflector, it's hard to get like something to punch back a lot. You really need like a mirror finish because when you think about light, as it travels, it's losing intensity, right? That's the inverse square law. So if the light goes past the subject, bounces, and then comes back, you're losing so much of it. But with a mirror, you can get almost 100% reflectance. Not with this one. This isn't quite a full mirror, but, and that's how we're getting the side of her face lit up. Yeah, and that gives you that kind of, that like punch. It also has like a little bit of coolness to it because it's coming from the back in this mirror.
You also get like the orbital bone, like you actually get to see like.
Yeah, which is important. We need to have our orbital bones. Yeah. It's you know, got the intensity there. So that's highlights, right? So when we're looking at something and making it three-dimensional, when we look at, I'm going back to my art school days here, where I dropped out now. You know, you want to show dimensionality by showing light and shadow in kind of around the subject, right? So we've got basically a light neutral, we have a shadow, and then back to a highlight, and that helps bring you in, and that's what makes the thing feel a little bit more like it's got depth. So let's do that one more time. I'm gonna stretch the lens a little bit. Back up. This is the part of the demo where I make a thumbnail for the next one. So stand by. And then Seth can say, you wouldn't have the thumbnail if I didn't help you. I need somebody to hold the reflector after I just... Have you got a silver one? I want to get a nice
silver. This is silver.
Yeah, see if that bounces as much. I don't think it will though.
It's not. You didn't hit this, right?
No, I haven't tried it. Okay, yeah, there you go. Revisit a little bit this way. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. More subtle. So yeah, regular reflector you can get at like a art store. Oh, not that one because Seth spray painted it.
So actually, this is chrome spray paint, not silver. Chrome spray paint has actual metal flake in it, which is what you're getting. Silver won't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, you could just spray glue aluminum foil if you want. I just found that this skips an entire step, and I like it better personally.
Yeah, it's cool. Got chrome spray paint. If you got any chrome spray paint hanging around,
I have.
maybe you're redoing a 1957 Ford.
Either way, I got a video of either style on my channel. Go for it. Do you want me to grip it?
Yeah, let's grip it in so we can get a couple of. So you can see how that helps, right? Like it definitely makes a difference. And the nice thing about adding anything like a reflector is that it should feel very natural, you know? Like this is very subtle, but it's there and it's shaping it. With the magic finger. Yeah, I don't know why I don't use this one for the light all the time. I probably should. Now, this arm has a magic finger on it, which is basically like a way to put a light on an arm. Let me show it to you guys. A lot of people see these like when I make a video in my studio, and they're like, "What the heck is that?" So instead of using a knuckle on a C-stand, you can use this thing. It's called a magic finger, and basically when you put your light on it, it's a ball head. Very nice. Now, I won't tell you how much it costs because then you won't feel so good about it. But it's good though. They're nice. They're just not cheap. Yeah, this is the Avenger one. The D200, which was also a Nikon camera at one point. Crop sensor back in the day when people were like, you don't need full frame. Now people are like, we need more than full frame. We need full plus frame. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No?
Not really. It's there. It was better before. Yeah, right there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Simple. Simplicity. Okay, a couple more like that. Go up a little bit. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Got a little softbox in there, but we'll take that out with AI.
So,
We'll add a giraffe there.
so for you in the chat that are asking how foam board compares to 5-1 reflectors, every bounce is gonna have a different feel to it. Also, 5-1 reflectors are very subjective to how big they are. The bigger the bounce, the more light is gonna come back out after that, right? So either way, like there's no like there's no like definitive formula here. Try what you got and see what you like, you know?
If you got one, you can do what you got.
You know, the thing about a bounce is it'll never overtake your key light.
Yeah.
So you're setting your style and exposure from the key light. The bounce is literally your taste and dialing it in. You're changing the density of your shadow. You're not changing a pattern. We set the pattern by our key, and then we break that shadow and density by the fill.
I'm still overshooting. Sorry. Thanks, Seth. That was good. Yeah, that was good though. So a little overexposure, you mean? Yeah.
A little drunk and you're a little.
That's okay. I've only been a little bit over. No, I'm good.
You're an auto. You're in TTL.
Yeah, I'm good. Think so. Yeah, I like it a little bright. We like it bright. You've got detail there. So if you think you're over, you can look at your numbers and make sure you're not at 255. I'm at 253. That's not over.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm a smidge over. That's okay though. All right. I think I'm in auto. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in manual. So TTL is basically like an auto exposure for this flash. If you find that it's getting a little wonky, then you can just lock it in the manual. I turned it down a little bit too. Yeah, there we go. I like it on the hot side, shooting to the left, as they say, exposing to the left. Whatever. I don't know how, but like focus peaking has now been turned on in this camera.
Because you touched your focus.
Yeah.
So it's not focusing.
Oh. There we go. Now we're better exposure-wise. All right. Yeah. So reflectors. You know, the thing about the other thing I'll add to that is that if you're using a soft reflector like a 5-in-1, there's some advantages there, which is that you can manipulate it, right? You can how Seth took the pizza thing because it opened and closed. You can manipulate it and bend it and do things like that. With the hard one, obviously you can't do that, but that can be an advantage to a hard reflector too. If you're like, let's say where it's windy, right, and your 5-in-1 is flopping all over the place, you can hold a hard reflector easier. So different reasons why you might use one or the other. All right. Any other questions? Questions, Akiva? Oh yes, in the back.
What if I have flash?
Do you have a flash?
My model needed pictures right away.
Yeah.
I have no modifier and I don't get paid till Friday.
Hold on. Do you want a hamburger today? You're going to pay me on Tuesday? So basically, what he's asking is, what if I don't have any modifiers because I can't buy something? Do you want a free modifier, sir? Is that what you're asking? So you want to see with the bare head? Well, the thing is, what you want to do is, if you want to make your flash bigger, you got to bounce it off of something, right? I mean, that's the simplest way to do it. You can almost always find something to bounce it off of.
Go find a white wall, point at the white wall. You got a bigger light. You got a bed sheet, shoot it through a bed sheet. Basically, as long as you get the principle down that you got to make it bigger to make it softer. If you want hard light, go with hard light. But if you're trying to get this feel without having a modifier, you've got to modify it somehow. You just don't have to buy a modifier. Although you should buy modifiers from Adorama.
Yeah.
You can always do bare bulb. You can, but you have to realize that every decision you make, you're committing to a style, and you've got to realize that's what you're going to get, right? Now it's up to you to make it actually work. So now Dan's going to think really hard.
Well, I was going to bounce it off the wall, which is the paper, but then it'll get all awkward, and so I'm gonna either hit. I don't want to hit the projector either. That's kind of cheating. All right, I'll do it.
It's kind of cheating.
All right.
You guys not shoot around a projection screen all the time? Is this not an organic space? The reality is you could find a neutral color wall and bounce any light you want. If you're near a neon red wall, you're going to get neon red light. Use your heads.
Right. Come a little forward. So again, our light source is over there. Come forward a little bit. A little this way. All right. So let's see what we get here. We're in TTL. We're in TTL.
You want that bouncing?
It's not doing anything, but it's always important to leave something there so that it confuses the client. That way they won't like go to their next photographer and be like, oh, he didn't put a bounce up. They don't know what there's. No, take that down just not to confuse anyone.
I'm going to have to flag this one for actually funny jokes for a change. What's going on here, Dan?
Yeah, I warmed up for this one.
Once in a while.
Yeah, I've been drinking. All right, so all right. So I'm going to bounce this. This is going to be really interesting. Okay, there you go. Beautiful, right? But it's shadowy, right? Because the light's coming from one side. So, oh, you can't see it? Oh.
You chose the most front row seat ever, sir.
Right, there you go. You're good. Okay. It's a little flat and the composition's terrible, but.
Move the light this way.
Okay. So that's going to move the light. He's going to move the light more in front of Erica, which will then give us a better shape. You know.
Yeah.
There we go. Right. Boom. Right. There you go. Bounce the light off the wall. What do you get here? It's kind of flat. Let's shoot it without the bounce. Yeah, I'm going to. Where are we at? Okay, we're at 8.8, so I'm giving it a little more power because it was a little light. I'm taking the bouncer out way just to see. Okay, that's our key. That's a little. When you're trying to establish your exposure, better to do it without the reflector in there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Man, there we go. Big old flat light. Free. Just one $5,000 projector screen. Because that's where you spend your money because you're not serious. Yeah, so I would definitely try to use a softer light than a bare head for your average portrait.
On another note of that, I know that we sell seamless back paper for backgrounds. A lot of people hang them on something, roll them down, and that's your white wall. You know, you're talking about if you're not going to go with a modifier or commit to a modifier, and you're trying to change your light, modifying it, you got to commit to something, right? So
Yeah.
see what's around you.
And I mean, actually, there's an onset. There's a video where I did that. So. All right, and finally, obviously, we can just use this, right? Going back to CTL. I'm going to put the modeling light on so you guys can see. Shape it like that.
What?
A little hot.
What? Your TTL.
My TTL. Well, you know.
But did you notice the color shift, by the way? Because the light's leaving another source, right? The fill card. It's not the same as the diffusion from the box. So it's going to have a different color cast. Same thing as any wall, same thing as any ceiling. The filthier the ceiling, I'm not even making this up, the warmer your light's going to feel. So if you got a grandmother that smokes, that's the place. Do it.
So I'm going to bounce and bounce. Right? Now we're creating a little bit more of an organic light, right? So we got light bouncing around. We've got the light bouncing off the main reflector and then back off a secondary reflector, you know, versus just kind of coming in from the main reflector versus a terrible exposure. You know? So it depends on what you're looking for, right? What do you get with modifiers, right? Consistency, so you know what you're getting, and cleaner light, right? Sometimes that's what you want. I would argue most times when you're trying to do something more commercially, but if you're just messing around, if you want to experiment, use anything you can, see what it does, right? And you might find something you love and that could be your thing.
That being said, there's garbage cans all around Adorama. You can find plenty of stuff to dig out.
There you go.
No pizza boxes, though.
No pizza boxes, that's the deal.
Yeah.
Questions, thoughts, concerns?
There's concerns. Good.
Oh, you look concerned.
Question about,
Uh-oh.
if there was like what would you do?
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Oh, now we're getting into speculation.
There was an orca whale.
Let's just say, for instance,
there was a big window behind her.
what would I do if there was a window behind her?
Backlit, you're saying?
Yeah, but like natural light, you know, obviously.
So if you didn't have control of the light in the space, is what you're saying?
Okay.
Well, we have all this light.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have control of the light in the space or you don't want to control the light, you want to mix the light in the space, you can definitely do that. and watch my next demo for that one. No, I'll do it quickly. All right. This is going to be real fast and dirty. Just how we like it. All right. I'm just going to put the beauty dish back on to make it a little simpler.
Challenge.
There we go. We'll try not to break it. Okay. No, I'm not breaking anything today. Okay, so let's say that we can't control the light in the space for whatever reason that might be. Maybe your flash isn't powerful enough. Maybe you want the light that's in the space, right? Like let's say, for instance, I don't know, Adorama is beautiful. Maybe I want it in the background. So Eric is there. Yep, there we go. You knew it was coming.
I did.
By sitting in these chairs, you've agreed to disclaimer that your image is likely used on the Adorama TV.
If you are wanted at all, you should probably bail out now. All right.
We understand. Probation officers, get going.
Okay, so the first thing to do here, the simplest thing is turn off your flash. I'm going to show you through the camera. All right, so again, fake exposure, right? We turn off our flash, which will just give us, this is our actual exposure. If we want to use the light that's in the space, we have to change our camera settings, right? Depending on, I mean, I don't want, you're all beautiful, but you know what? Not that beautiful. So I'm gonna open up the lens a bit. Let's say to f4, right? And then it's still dark in here. I'm gonna lower my shutter speed. You could also raise your ISO. I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do. I think 60th of a second when I'm on a tripod is fine. And I look into the background and I'm like, is that bright enough for me? That's up to me, right? If it's not, I can just raise my ISO. I'm pretty sure I've raised the ISO on this camera once before. Let's raise it up to 400 because, you know, I only go by film speeds. So if we shoot a shot now, right, this is the ambient light in the space, you know, and on some level, right? And that's wonderful. But what we want to do now is we have a flash, right? So we want to, what I like to call clean it up. I got all kinds of terms today. Clean it, I forget what the other ones are already, but that, you know. That's a natural beauty dish sound. Don't worry about it. Hey, people were asking about the dent. That's how you get it.
Wait. This grid's going.
Oh, there's a grid in there. All right, here we go. There's Erica. I'm in TTL. No, it's off. I'm on. I'm in TTL. She's looking at me. You guys are looking good in the back. The flash fires. Like Howard Costello over here. All right, it's overexposed. That's okay. Well, how hot am I? Couple stops? Stop.
I go here. About to stop and a third.
Okay, so I just went to manual. I'm just going to dial my light down and take a shot. Okay, that's not bad. And then, you know, again, let me get a little more juice on that. There we go. And boom, right? Now I've got a nice shot of Erica.
It doesn't look too flashed up. Like that could be organic light in the space. It doesn't look like it's too set, right? We could, and then your choice is to over stylize it or not, right? Either make it feel like it's the environment or stylize the snot out of it, but that's your choice, right?
Right, and this is how you often want to shoot when you're doing some kind of, like, let's say an event. You got a flash on your camera, you want to shoot an event, get your space where you want it, and then use the flash to fill it, right? Or you get those shots where it's like the room's black and like the person just lit up. Maybe you like that style, but if that's not what you're going for, then this is how you do it. This is called mixing flash with ambient light. And that'll be my next demo. No.
Surely we have one somewhere.
Yeah, so we have like 3 of them. All right, so, but that's how you do it, right? It's a matter of just getting used to how your camera operates, right? We don't want to expose completely for the ambient light, because if we do, then the flash isn't going to do anything, right? It's going to muddy it up. We want to keep it where it looks kind of good, right? So like we're putting her in a space and then we're lighting her with the flash. Does that make sense? That's what you do at the window. Okay, cool. Other questions? No? All right. Well, that being said, thanks, guys. This is Erica Lynn NYC. Seth is last ex-witness. The X is silent. I'm Daniel Norton. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go to the, hold on, do it again. Go to the, well, we'll time that later. Go to the Q card thing, QR code. That's the event schedule. Seth's going to be back here on Monday doing a demo on the channel.
Yeah, I forgot I'm live twice. All right.
Twice?
Monday is an Ask Me Anything session where I shoot the answer live to online crowd. Tuesday, I am shooting live with an actual breathing model, which is crazy. But it's my last one of the year. So we're going to do a little bit of a harder multiple light setup, a little more in depth. Come hang out Tuesday. But either way, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 p.m., come hang out. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next one.